Good morning, everybody. Just popped on. I'm waiting for Scott to get here. I've already been up and went and got some breakfast and then got groceries at the grocery store. I didn't sleep much last night, but now I'm wide awake, kind of, sort of. So I figured I'd come on and open some mail from Janet and color in I don't know who y'all changed her name to. So if somebody from last night's Mary's show will let me know what her ultimate name was. I had Martha White wrote up here, but then they were all saying, no, not Martha White. So I had to leave before a name was actually given. And I put oven mitts on her because I can't draw hands worth beans. So this is the little gal that lives in Phibbsville that bakes cookies and stuff. And she and Mrs. Claus got in a row. I don't know. I got her this far and then I was getting tired and Mary was about to wrap up anyway. And I watched the rest of Mary this morning and I never saw anything about a solution to the name. So anyway, hi, Mary. Hi, Cheshire Cat. So let's open up my mail from Janet and then we'll color in Miss Baker Lady. And stamp too and love it. It was, I think it was in the dollar bin stamps. Oh, this is glued good. There's a U-Haul knife here. Let's see if I can remember how to use it. Maybe I can use this. Trying to cut myself. I was naughty. I had a Belgian waffle out at breakfast this morning. I'm not supposed to eat all that bread, but I had a Belgian waffle, grits, and 2 scrambled eggs and some bacon. And we're so used to eating the uncured bacon that regular bacon is, it just tastes so salty. I couldn't hardly eat it. Well, this is just not doing. Maybe I need to pop the end off from it. I don't have much luck with breaking the blade off. You can tell, I think I tried to break it already and it just broke a corner off from it. So anyway, there's that. Oh. Hi, Susan. Scott said he was getting breakfast at the big clock up the road from the cottage and he was going to head this way. So he'll be here in a couple hours. All right, so she's got some coffee dyed paper. Oh, isn't this cute? She made one of those, what are they called? A letter portfolio. She's got me a card. Becky, I've made you a little something to say thank you for all you do. Hugs, Janet. Well, you do so much for us. I don't mind giving you a little surprise every once in a while. Look at this. Oh, it's one of those envelopes. Envelope pocket things. This is cool. So let's see. We'll go from back to front. She's got some pretty different browns. Oh, there's another one hiding there. Brown fabrics. Those are pretty. That, if you heard a little, that was Cole. He's probably going to come over here and see what's going on. He's gotten a lot bigger than I think the vet said he was going to. Oh, look, hollyhocks. Joy Melody Star Claus. All right, I'm just going to write joy on here. She brings joy, joy, joy down in your heart. There you go. Joy Melody Star Claus. All right, back to this here. I miss hollyhocks. I have tried to grow them down here, but it's just too hot and dry here in Columbia. Now, I don't know if I could grow them better up in Greenville. I bet I could. Some morning glories. And more Morning Glories. And then this just has words all over it. It's got 2 little pieces of that. I could almost make a little journal out of everything that's popped in here. That could be a fun little project. Now, I just pulled these out of this pocket. They better go back in. What's in the next pocket? We got some stamped images on colored book paper, butterflies, and a hummingbird. Oh, that one's pretty, but that one's cute. Some more butterflies. And another one of the larger hummingbirds. These are awesome. Yes, this is from Janet. She sent me a little thank you for the goodies I sent her because she had put out a request for some corner rounders. Some, I guess these are tea bags. That's what it feels like. And then she's coffee dyed some of the scrapbook papers with lettering on it. That's so cool. And this is such a fun thing. Now, I have seen people do these, but I've never made one myself. I think Amy Eljon showed how to make these a long time ago. And here we got some napkins. See, this could be such a fun journal. Look at that one. It's got scalloped edges and a ladybug. I need to finish my Happy Mail journal that I started, and maybe I could make something with Janet's here. Oh, I love this Santa Claus. I collect Santa Clauses. It's got a little Santa Claus there. Oh, and it's got a deer on this side. So what she's done is she's removed the backs to make them lighter to mail. I need to go through my napkin collection and pull the backs off them so I can have them ready to share in Happy Mail. I think I might do that when I get back up there. Here, there. I don't know where I am. These have such a crunchy feeling to them. Hi, Lori. Hi, Cheryl. And then in the last pocket, she's got some deli paper that's been cut. Or she sent me some. Oh, this has some kind of print, it looks on it, or something. That's kind of cool. There's a bunch of that. So, ooh, fun stuff to play with. And I'm just going to slide her note down in this first pocket so I don't lose it. And I think I'll just fold this up and put it in one of the pockets now. That's all in there. And then this, you wrap this around and it holds it closed. So isn't that neat? I'll slide it back in her envelope and put it in my bag to take back with me. So I did bring my Prismacolors, but I don't think I brought a sharpener. So if I have to sharpen anything, I think I'm going to have to run across. Oh, I started coloring her in, never finished her. I need to finish her up. So I wrote across the top that what was being said was red dress with a white ruffled apron and blue eyes with red hair. So and then I saw something about a sweater, but I didn't want to change it because I already had the red dress and red hair in mind. I'm going to move the mic a little bit so I can set these pencils to the side. So let me see what you guys are saying. And you know what? I didn't turn autofocus off. Hang on just a second. Hi, Teresa Church. I think I've had 3 cups of coffee. The little waitress at the Lizard's Thicket, she just kept filling me up. I think that's got everybody. What I could do on those is some of the paper that's just small pieces of paper in that package from Janet, I could take some of the napkins and just apply them to the coffee dyed paper pieces and make tags. I call her my baby sister because she's 16 years younger than me. She bought me the complete set of Prismacolors for my 50th birthday. I thought that was really sweet of her. A white or blonde streak in her hair per Holly. Okay. Hi, Ann. Well, I got in the recliner and I slept for about 30 minutes when I got back here, and then I started getting messages from Scott that he was getting breakfast. So I'm going to go ahead and I need to remember she needs a white streak in her hair. I'm going to think on that a bit. I think I'm going to work on her dress. And so what I'd like to do is pull out three values on the red, a light, a medium, and a dark. And then just start adding the color in. Because Prismacolors is all about layering. I'm just trying to put where the ruffle of her apron maybe added a little bit of darkness. And I see where I didn't erase something here. But I figured I'd eat a big breakfast and then come back here and get to work. And then I came back here and got in the recliner for a few minutes. Oh no, I just messed up. That's her apron. Hopefully I won't wear a hole in the paper. All right, I'm gonna, I'm such a crackhead. I guess I'm not awake yet. So let's fix that real quick. I am going to use a gray. And just gray this out a little bit. And neutralize that red that I put in the wrong place. I always use a gray or a blue to kind of highlight on white. Does that make sense? It's not highlighting, it's creating shadows here and there. And I was going to give her make her collar white too. Maybe if I do her apron first, I'll quit trying to color it in with the red. Greg made it in safe and sound. He said he was going to try to get some sleep before the event starts later on. So I'm glad he got there. This part's her apron too. So if her dress is red and white, what should I do about her oven mitts? Oh, Susan, that's a good idea. I didn't see your comment until I'd fixed it about making it some strawberry jam. That would have been a good idea. I was going to take Sally to get shots this morning, but I'm just not feeling like sitting at the clinic with her. So I'm going to wait till Tuesday and take her to do that Tuesday morning. I need to take all of them and get them done so that everybody's up to date here. Young people across the street. The lady that used to live there used to be the yard Nazi. And if you let your grass get too long, she would turn you into the city. And now her grass, it's a rental house and it's full of University of South Carolina students and they never mow the lawn. Right now, it's about 3 feet long across there. They're going to be my detriment to selling this house is those kids next door because they don't care. They're just renting. I told Scott, I said, we need to find out who's handling the renting and get on them because, when she lived there and when I was working all the time and we let the lawn go for an extra week and the grass would get to be about 8 inches long, she would send the cops out on us and they'd give us a notice that if we didn't mow, they were going to charge us $2,000. And if she could see her lawn now, I think she'd have an absolute coronary. All right, maybe that'll be enough to make me not color her apron now. Hi, Isla. Yeah, it's only like 68 degrees here. And I'm down in the Columbia area of South Carolina. I'm about 10 minutes from the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. And it's been kind of nice for a change. Usually it's hotter than you know what. A friend of mine one time described Columbia, South Carolina as where the giant sat while he was making the Appalachian Mountains, and that it was hot and sweaty because this is where his butt landed. And I think she could have been right. Cole, stop it. Don't tell me no, ma'am. Hey, I'm not talking to you. He said, I know, that's the problem. And Cole and Sally like to play underneath the kitchen door out to the bonus room. There's a little bit of an opening, and she shoots her paws in here, and he tries to grab them. And Piper absolutely hates Sally. So I don't know. I told Greg, I said, are you sure about keeping Sally? Because Piper really does not like her. He said, well, she didn't like Cole either at first. I was like, well, okay. I said, you're the one that's going to have to feed 3 cats. They're his mental health caregivers, I guess. Some kind of design on her mittens. What kind of design should we put on her oven mitts? And I just sleepily sketched her, so she's probably not 100%, what somebody else would call a perfect drawing, but she was a quick sketch last night with me half asleep, and I thought she turned out kind of cute. A leaf design for fall. Well, we'll see what we come up with. It doesn't look like there's white going on, but I can see a difference. This was a tablet Scott had for notes when he worked at Bose Corporation. He enjoyed that job a lot. We had really thought that he would work and retire from Bose, and we'd move to our land that we sold and retire that way, but that all fell apart in 2008, 2009 during that recession, which I'm really afraid we're headed for that again. Listening to a kind of a market appraisal analysis, and they were saying that right now, as things are, it's looking like a 75% chance that we'll have another recession, and that's kind of scary. We just want to be able to retire, and every time the markets fluctuate really, really bad, we watch our retirement account just go away because we got a lot invested in the market. So Scott says we'll just hang on and hopefully it'll recover in time for us to retire fully. But I told him, I said, I'd like to get settled somewhere where I can have a garden again. So I could at least be guaranteed I'd have some fresh vegetables that don't cost me an arm and a leg. Just, physical labor. I don't mind putting in physical labor for fresh fruits and veg, but what they're starting to cost at the grocery store is a little much. Oh, Ruth was here? Okay, I missed her. I hate when I look up and see that, when I've missed somebody. Don't y'all hate that? It's like, oh, hello, goodbye. Yeah. It's like, oh, I missed them. But I know Saturday mornings, everybody's, that works during the week, this is their chance to get all their errands done. And I just thought I'd come on and open that mail from Janet. Thank you, Janet. And color on this Joy Melody Star Claus. I'll have to change her name on Instagram. So now I've got these down. Let's see. Oh, I know what I have with me, but I don't have any blending solution. And I don't know if a blending stub will do anything without it. Like I said, I just tried to throw enough. Okay, Peg, you have a good day. Oh, I have my blending pencil, though. I'm just not thinking very clearly. This one's gotten so short, I've had to use the extension for it. And I need a piece of paper to clean this off on, because I don't want to put those are sketches I did with Mary last time I was down here. But I didn't take them home with me, so they got left here. And to clean the blender off, all you got to do is kind of scribble on another piece of paper. And what this does is it kind of blends everything together. You can use the blending pencil, or you can get one of those nibs or stub things like this and dip it in, what's that stuff called? Gamsol, which I have some, but it's at the house, cottage, not the house, but the cottage. The other place I stay, and I saw Janet said bright blue eyes, but no lipstick. So I'm thinking just pale pink lips. That's a text message. Let me see who it is. Hi, Laura. Oh, Scott sent a message to me about a place I passed by when I was coming into town yesterday that is closed now, and he said good riddance because it was a bad place. But this just blends that, like if you got more than one color, this blends it out smoother. It's hard to see on this white, but I wanted to finish this white apron on her. It blends it smooth, put it that way. I should have put some more on the outer edge of this. Maybe I can move some of this down below the edge of the pocket. So we talked a little bit about where to retire to, and Scott was still talking that the Roanoke Valley area of Virginia would be pleasing. So I've started kind of eyeing housing costs and all that up there. And just get out of South Carolina entirely for retirement. Because South Carolina is one of the worst places to retire. So yeah, you can see the apron looks more white now. I just keep checking the camera every once in a while to see the screen, see how it looks. And I thought it would be cute for her to have striped socks, but then I never thought about what color her stripes on her socks should be. All right, so I'm going to switch back and work some on the red. And I was doing the dark spots on red when I got messed myself up. And so I'm just going to kind of outline the edges of where her dress with the darkest pencil. And you don't want to color really, really hard because you're going to layer the colors with these. So if you just color very, very lightly, and just go back over it if you want it darker. Don't push down on your paper really hard, because you basically want the color to set on top so that it'll blend well. This is just something I've learned by doing. Because if you color really hard like this and get a lot of color, that's hard to move with the next color. So if you just go really light with these in a tiny little circular motion, it does better. Little waitresses at the store, at the restaurant, were so sleepy this morning. And I think I'm going to put where you can see the other side of her dress a little bit here and there. You know how you can see the back of the dress? So that would be all dark under there, because that's the shadow, the back underside. So we'll color that around. Okay. Then I'm going to go to my medium color. Make stockings any color as she changes them out. And then the next color you lay on top of the first color, but then expand it and maybe go a little bit farther away. But see, then when you put this color on top of the other color, it deepens that color because you've got both colors on there now. And just play around with it. I'm not real good about setting the highlighted areas as I should be. I need to think more about where's the lighting coming from? Where would the lighter spots be? And see, I'm even going to darken this up with this second color. Just lay it on top. Again, I'm not pushing hard. I'm just adding another layer to the colors. And I think I'm going to bring this and make it the outline for the rest of the skirt here. come up here and do these a little bit more. And I'm going to use one of these reds in her hair. And I think I'm going to use the lightest red and then pair it with a couple oranges. And I got to remember to put that white streak in her hair, which is going to look kind of odd to me, but Holly, it's all your fault. All right, so now I'll take this one and I'm going to cover the whole thing. Now, and some other people use Prismacolors, and they'll just color the whole thing with their lightest color first, and then they'll go in and put in the darker colors. But I find I do a little better if I start with the shadows, then do medium, and then do my very lightest color to fill it on in. And it doesn't look like much now, but when I start using my blending pencil, it'll just make it look really, really good. And if you want to use and leave a couple spaces with just plain paper, when you're pushing the color around, that spot will color in too, and it'll be really light. So like I'll layer these on up and leave just a little strip of her dress there and at her neckline. And then I'll get my blending pencil, and it's just got white on it right now. Yeah, I said striped stockings. She's got striped socks on. I was trying to draw her and participate in adding stuff, and that's not always easy either when you're sitting here in the zone. The reason I like the blending pencils over the Gamsol and the little nubs is you don't have to carry something liquid with you. When you have the blending stubs and you're using that Gamsol, then you got to tote a liquid, and I would rather just tote just pencils. Breakfast is not setting on my stomach well this morning. Oh. And I even took my, what is it? Ranitidine, whatever that's the generic name for it. I think it's Zantac or something like that. But see, the blending pencil just pulls it all together. And then you can come back in with your marker, which is, it doesn't always work because Prismacolors are a waxy crayon, waxy pencil. So sometimes markers won't work, but I'm going to try to come back in and outline and add just little lines here and there to, reinforce the edges with maybe a Sharpie and see if it'll work. But see the difference between where I've shaded it with the pencil and where I haven't? That's why if you get some Prismacolors, grab one of these. They're called, you can get these individual, colorless blender, and the number's PC 1077 on the end of it. It's usually on the very bottom of the display unit because this is a something dry you can carry with you to blend your pencils. So if you wanted to just grab a sketchbook, a sketch pencil, and some of your Prismacolors and a blender and go, and you could do like Mary does, but where she uses the watercolors, you could just use the Prismacolors to color in. I had thought about starting to visit some of the different parks around Greenville. They have the Falls Park, which is absolutely gorgeous, and it has this huge expansion bridge. I think we did a video or took some pictures or something and shared it, but it's downtown Greenville. I need to catch up on the Murder, etc. Videos about Scott's cousin's murder. His cousin and uncle were murdered in 1976, I think it was, in Greenville. His cousin was a lead narcotics agent up there, and a man was arrested and imprisoned wrongly, and a reporter is trying to get to the real bottom of it, but everything's kind of cloaked in secrecy, and he's been doing podcasts about what he's finding as he searches. So there's her little dress colored up. So I guess she needs to be colored now. Let's see. We need some skin tones. I guess I could do her hair first. And we got to put that white section in her hair. So let's see. Ow, 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 my knee. Sorry. Let's use a more blue-gray in her hair. And let's see. Let's kind of put it up. And then we'll do the rest of her hair in kind of I'm going to put that back. Yeah, my sister bought me the big set of all of the colors. So I said I was going to use the lightest red and then get maybe an orange and an orange red out. See if those are 3 different shades. This one's actually darker, but we'll use it. Well, there's Janet and Lucia. Hello. When y'all threw the bun in on me, I'd already given her some kind of curls, and I was like, a bun? So I just plopped like a messy haired bun. She's got a messy haired bun. Just lay in some curls here. I figured I could play a little bit before Scott gets here, because once Scott gets here, I'll be helping him, and that'll be the end of this play day. And I told him I could be able to help him with the laying the shoe molding down in the other room where we did the flooring last or week before. It's all running together now. But I was going to empty Greg's bathroom out and start painting. While he's not here, I can paint and it can cure, before he takes another shower in there. Because, it needs to cure a little bit before he's showering. I think I'm going to add a little bit of orange to her graying hair area, so it doesn't look quite so odd. So I could empty his the closet in there, the cabinet, where the towels go. And I'm going to paint the inside. My goal is to make sure all of the closets are painted a nice crisp white on the inside, so that everything looks really clean and bright. And I like the closets to be painted a crisp white anyway, because it increases the lighting inside your closets, so that, when you're opening it up to find something, it doesn't just look like a dark, drab hole. There we go. So now I can take the pencil I used to her dress, and I'm going to clean some of that red from it. Actually, I think I used the other, but that's okay. I'll clean that one up. I'm coloring the lady that I came up with for Mary's Phibbsville character that she was, why can't I remember what that is? Brainstorming, but she calls it something else. Collecting ideas. Basically, she was building a storyboard, is what I would think of it. She had Mary, what did you end up with? I think she ended up with 6 pages of information on this poor little lady here. We're a nosy bunch there in Phibbsville. We know everybody's business. She's related to Santa Claus. And the last I was hearing was she likes to sing. So I gave her some musical notes, but her lips are shut. So I think she's just humming as she's baking here. And like I said, I'll come back in with another pencil and a marker and put some of the lines back in. And I'm bad about leaning in real close when I'm coloring. And I'm probably making the table move and wiggle. Because when I'm using the blender, I kind of do push a little bit harder than I do with the pencils, so I can move the color around. Yep, she had 3 large pages, 6 doubled. Creative imaginations going on. Yep, that's it. Mind mappers. So now we need some flesh tones. Let's see here. I think these are both the same because Scott had bought me a set of pencils and then Rhonda bought me this set. So I ended up with some doubles. Again, I'm going with the 3 colors. Maybe this one here. So I'll start with this one. I gave her some real round little smiley cheeks. All I got to color in skin tones is her face and her arms because she's got her striped socks on. I might give her some really goofy striped socks. Maybe purple and yellow, or I don't know. How many different colors should her socks be? 2 or 3? And I would love it if everybody took on Mary's characters and everybody came up with their own version of, the squirrel and this lady. And I think it would be fun to see all the different varieties of villagers. Of course, if we all came up with a little bit different ones, then maybe some of them could be the main character that Mary comes up with, but then maybe the rest could be like helpers in neighboring cities or all right, so I'm going to take the next color that's a little bit lighter, go over everything I've already done, plus add a little bit more. And again, I'm not laying into it heavy and hard here. I'm just putting light little circles of color. Last night, I was kind of hoping y'all would turn her into an African-American lady so she could be a baker with sass. And I could have made her give some real attitude. Like she's got it going on and she knows it. All right, before I add the lighter color, nobody said anything about eyeshadow or any of that, but I was going to go with the no makeup variety because Janet said no lipstick. So the reason I'm not going to go in with the lightest one is I want to get a pink and give her a little bit of cheeks because she's in the kitchen. Let's see. Let's give her a little bit of rose on her cheeks here. And this you want to lay in hard because it will look unnatural. Maybe a little flush on her neck from working hard in the kitchen. A little bit on her arms, maybe, where she's just opened the oven to pull out the cookies and she got a hot blast. Okay. Then I'll come in with my lighter color. Hi, Kathy Whitney. Yes, we need to get some diversity in there. We do. Oh, one of the cats is sneezing. Tippy's been sneezing. I wonder, do cats get seasonal allergies? Because I told Scott, I said, Tippy's been sneezing too. And then I remember the last season when his coat was switching out, he sneezed a lot. So I'm thinking when I get back up there, I'm going to give them all a thorough brushing down with those mitts I ordered off from Amazon. I tell you guys what, those mitts that you slide on and they've got like rubber fingery things on them. When you brush the cats with those, it just pulls a ton of loose hair off from. It's like, spit it out back. I'm gonna get another pair if those get wore out. I bought Greg a pair and I told him, I said, get them used to using these because you can get all that loose hair off them. All right. Get this lightest color in here. I'll tell you all a story. When I was growing up in upstate New York, there were no Black African American people around except the ones that would come for fresh air summers. So I was not used to or accustomed to seeing African Americans. Well, then when I moved down here, I went to Orangeburg Calhoun Tech, and I was surrounded by African American kids my age. And the diversity was a very eye-opening thing for me. And then when I went back to New York on my honeymoon, I couldn't wait to get back home to South Carolina where there was diversity again, because you get used to seeing an array of colors around you, and it's comforting to know you're not it. You're not the one and only race on the planet, you know? And I just love the different complexions that are available in the world. And I found it unnerving to be back up there to see my grandmother and them and not see African Americans. It was just weird. So it really is an eye-opener when you get out in the world. And everybody needs to understand that not everybody was raised in diverse environments, and it's going to take them some time to get used to it too. And I know Janet said no red lips on her. Let's get a different pink. Come in here and do a little highlight in the middle here. So we don't want our lips to be totally plain, though. There we go. All right, now I've got to come up with shocking blue eyes. I might leave the reds out. And again, even though they're very tiny little spot, I'm grabbing 3 different blues. Yep. My son's best friend has some beautiful caramel babies, and I just absolutely adore Jason. He's my African American son, and Greg is his mama's white boy. And we just love each other. I just think it's important to embrace each other instead of trying to be hateful. I'm going to do the outer part of the blue of her eye, and then just a couple little spots with this dark blue. And then we'll come in with the medium and just add a little bit more. With the red hair, though, I was thinking she should have beautiful emerald eyes, but I'm going with what was called out last night. And just blend them all together. It's hard to pick up the intensity on such small little eyes. All right, let's see. We need to come up with a pattern on her gloves. What should I do with her gloves? I know Teresa mentioned maybe some leaves or something on her gloves. Oh, you were looking for the fingerless gloves. And Janet's put the link up for it. They're super, super easy, and they work up really fast. Like I said, I made an adult pair plus a toddler size pair in like less than an hour. That's how fast they work. Same color that is complement to reds and oranges, purple and blues. Okay. Let's take a blue that I did on her eyes. And I'm probably not getting these back in here in the right order, but they're in the right family. And I'm going to get maybe, let's do a violet blue and an actual purple color. And that's what I'm going to make her socks. And then I'll keep these out and we'll do something with her mitts. So I got 3 colors. So 1, 2. And did we say anything about her shoes? Because I kind of just made bland little shoes here. And we've told Greg that we don't care who he marries as long as he's happy. Because life's too short to be worried about what everybody around you thinks. And put their prejudice on you. That's their problem, not yours. So that's just what we've told him. I'm hoping he meets some really nice folks this weekend and has a lot of fun. Whoever made her socks didn't match their yarns up very good. They're kind of off striped. Either that or she's got one that's kind of bunched up in her shoe. There we go. Woo, those are some wild socks she's got on there. That's it. That's it. Exactly, Susan. If they love each other, that's what matters. If they love and take care of each other. I'd rather have somebody love and care for him than somebody that's mean to him all the time, which I've witnessed quite a few couples. And Greg's kind of put the brakes on the idea of marriage entirely because a bunch of his shipmates, they got married right out of boot camp and then they got divorced like 6 months later. And he's like, no. And I told him, I said, I don't even care if you get married. If you don't want to get married, that seems to be the thing now, is everybody just lives together, which I can't say anything about that because Scott and I lived together a full year before we got married. I wanted to be sure he was really ready to marry again because he was married before and that was a fiasco for him. Kind of the same in the service thing happened with him. So you can't be shipped out and not expect, to come home and find your wife has, been with everybody else while you've been out to sea for 6 months. All right. I'm feeling like her mitts need to have something to do with her socks. And I'm not sure why, but I think they do. Let's put some zigzag stripes on her mitts and then fill the rest of it in with the reds. So 2 mountains. Scott called me last night, or I called him to make sure he got home from work okay. And he said, you know what? And I said, no, what? And he said, I meant to put a lawnmower in the back of the truck because the young man next door, this is a long story too. The guy next door, he's about our son's age. He and his wife have 2 little girls. They're so cute. He had a lawnmower and it just wasn't working. And he went and he bought another lawnmower, and Scott bought this old lawnmower off from him. Well, earlier this summer, he came over and wanted Scott to fix the mower that he just bought, which there shouldn't have been any problem. It's basically brand new. And Scott just couldn't get it fixed. He didn't know what the kid had done or what, because the kid had tried to fix it himself, which we commended him for that. But something happened along the way, and Scott didn't want to take the time to really delve into it. We're trying to work on our house. So what we ended up doing is we gave him the mower that we bought from him and Scott fixed. We gave him that mower back. So now we don't have a push mower here. We have Scott's Aunt Marietta's old riding lawnmower, which can do, just basic runs, but he can't get in on the, in closer to the bushes. So he was going to send the mower down with me, and we forgot to load it. And he can't bring a mower in his car. And I was like, well, I'm already down here, so there's nothing I can do about it because I'm not driving back up the 2 hours back up to get a lawnmower. And I forgot to feed Bernadette last night until after I'd signed off and watching Mary. She looked at me like, Mom, I've been out here waiting. I've been hungry. I need to check on her and make sure her water's fresh that's out there. But the lawn does need to be mowed here. Quietly. So maybe he'll go get the push mower from Jared and we'll quickly mow our lawn. So I didn't look up to see if you guys said anything about her shoes. Are they bedroom shoes? Should I make them bedroom slippers, or should they be like little brown shoes? I'll have to scroll back up and see if y'all said anything. Elf shoes. Oh, I could do that. I can switch her shoes to little elf shoes. Elf shoes for little kids are easy to make too. I might make some of those. Show you guys how to make them. There's a video on YouTube on how to make them, but I can show them to you. I can't do it today because, Scott will be here shortly. And plus, I've got to work on this house. But I figured I could sneak and come on and get her colored. And I'll take her back up to the house and I'll make copies and send one to Mary. And I guess I ought to send one. Who should I send one to? Who wants a copy of this? Leave a comment below if you want a copy. After I sign off, leave a comment. That way I will have seen it. Oh, this is really dark. I don't want really dark. I think if I do elf shoes on her, I'll have her all done. Do we want little red elf shoes, or do they need to be a different color? This has got red on it already. These are so much fun to do while Mary's getting the description. Y'all ought to try it too. And we could have like a row of Miss Joys each week, or Miss Montana Squirrels. I know Mina did Montana Squirrel too, didn't she? Did Mina do the squirrel too? She was Holly's suggestion. Okay, so Holly will definitely get a copy of Joy Melody Star Claus. I have to keep looking at it because I keep calling her Martha White. Did y'all see there was a recall on the gold medal flour again for E. coli? That popped up from allrecipes.com yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. But gold medal is all my grandmother ever used. Doesn't my text sound like doom? Oh, he's at the murder rest stop. That's the rest stop that you have to exit left to get into. We call it the murder rest stop because I tell Scott all the time, somebody could kill you and turn around and go the opposite way and they would never find them. I hate that rest stop. That's where that really bad wreck was that time too. That where I had to go off-roading to go around the wreck because they had debris out of the back of a pickup truck spread about 100 feet on the road. They had like a grill. It was like they were going to a picnic somewhere and they had a grill and they had all this stuff and it was just all over the road. It was just a mess. Yeah, look it up. And I was going to look it up and post the, I'm sure there's like a date code that you have to look for, but I follow allrecipes.com because I love their recipes. And if you sign up for a free recipe box on their site, you can save all your recipes in an online recipe box. I love allrecipes.com. They have great recipes on there. It's hard to believe. Just a little scribble back and forth with a blending pencil really just smooths everything out. All right, now Mary's saying elf shoes. So let's take the toe off here. Should she have bells on her, like jingle bells on the ends of her shoes? Like she could have a jingle bell right here. Bernadette. She never barks. Something's got her going. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I'm always telling Greg, I said, don't pick up, like that. That's the kind of thing my son would do, though, because he's kind-hearted. I think the new people behind us have a dog. And even though Bernadette can't see them, she can smell them. And she has become quite the pampered princess, and she does not like having to sleep outdoors. But I forgot to bring her crate. I should have told Scott to bring it, but he's halfway here now. If he's at the murder rest stop, he's halfway here. Susan, I bet that girl eyed those cars and she had somebody else waiting in the background. I'm surprised they didn't figure out some way to steal the cars. Rest stops and truck stops are no place to meet women, put it that way. Scott calls them lot lizards. Oh, there goes the mail. Oh, looks like Greg got another package. The kid gets so much stuff. Scott and I get very little mail anymore. When you're young and you're ordering, you think you need everything and you're ordering stuff all the time. Of course, back in our day, this time of year, you'd start getting Lily and Vernon catalogs and Spencer's gifts and I don't know, Finger Hut and all of that kind of mailings. Now you don't get those mailings. At least we don't. I guess because we're past our shopping days of wanting to buy new all the time. We would rather go thrifting. Becky, above. Shoes, apron, earrings. Earrings. She needs earrings. Okay. Oh. Okay. That's exactly what I thought. I bet she's got some people, in the background that were thinking they would steal the Corvettes. Holly and on apron, candy cane, earrings, flowers, sprinkles on shoes. Oh, I don't know if that's going to work to put flower sprinkles on here. I think I actually have gold Prismacolor pencils, so I could paint the Jingle Bells gold on here. So does she need candy cane earrings? I don't know if I can get candy cane earrings to show up now. Candy cane earrings. It's going to be hard to make them show up with the pencil. Let me put the gold on the Jingle Bells. Yeah, I've got gold back here. Metallic gold. I wonder if these would color my letters in too. No, that's not the same kind of gold as I did those other ones. Got all my pencils pulled out now. Mix them with on. Oh, mix them with holly and candy canes on the apron. Well, and holly leaves. Maybe I'm slow to go here. holly leaves and candy canes. Let's put I think if somebody approached me for a ride, I would say I can't do it, and then I would be calling 911 in case they followed me and say, look, I was just harassed for a ride, and now they're following me. I bet they'd have highway patrol out in no time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pair of the holly leaves, and then I'll come back in and put candy canes in between the two holly leaves. Oh, I went the wrong way. I'm thinking I might need to wait until about 11 o'clock. What time is it now? Well, it is almost 11 o'clock. I was thinking maybe I should call Greg so that he's awake to go to his event. Because when he gets real tired like that, he'll fall asleep and he'll sleep through what he drove to go see. And I'd hate for him to do that when he was so excited about getting to go, you know. They look like little bats right now. I'm putting bats on her. You know those clickbait things where they'll say, like the one that I looked at this morning is, these stars left Hollywood and now they do regular jobs. Well, I would think you would need a backup because being an actor is a very, limited time frame, especially young women. Once you're not young anymore, they want to cast you off. Oh, you just don't fit the demographics, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and guess what, you guys? Scott said he would go to see Downton Abbey with me. So next weekend, we have a date to go see Downton Abbey together. He never goes to movies with me. Usually I have to go with my mother-in-law or Greg, but he said he would go with me and we'd have us a date night and go see Downton Abbey. Like I said, he never does that. So I'm going to take it and run with it. Does this look okay? Am I doing okay? Oh, wow. What is that saying? No good turn goes unpunished? That's sad. We had a young woman almost fall out in the street in front of us yesterday, coming back to the house after our trip to Home Depot. We went to get some of that. Well, we thought we'd get that red rolled paper that you do to put down to protect the floor. And she was just kind of stumbling along. She was high as she could be on something. Heroin is really bad in the Greenville area. Another reason we don't really want to retire permanently up there. Of course, everything's bad everywhere. We need to figure out what's going on with our youth, mental health wise, and get some answers on how to take care of people better. We used to take care of our elderly, and now they're, like my mother-in-law, she said she's not going to make us take care of her. She's already got plans to go into a home. And I'm like, well, there's no need for that if you're well enough that you don't need nursing care. I mean, we can take care of you. And I don't know. I guess because I was raised by my grandmother with her health conditions and everything. I just grew up. You just didn't do that. You didn't put somebody in a home. Okay, I'm going to try making some candy canes with maybe I'll do. Let's do this. Let's color a red area. I just want to see if this Sharpie is going to work before I put it on her. Let's see. Oh, it's writing. So I guess it'll be all right. And I'll put the candy canes in with the Sharpie, and then I'll just add red. So should I put the candy canes amongst the holly leaves, or should I have them off to the side of them on their own? Let's see. So here's some of the holly leaves. I just want to do a practice run on something that's not her so that I don't mess her up. All right. So if we do candy cane, I can hear Sally playing out in the other room. And then I do another one the opposite way. That's not how I wanted it to go, but I was thinking. Okay, let's give them a go. Yeah, it's really, drugs is a real problem in the United States, that's for sure. I'm just going to put them on here randomly and we'll just color them in. Does this look okay? Is she looking all right? I had thought about trying to sketch a cookie sheet off to the side, but then I couldn't remember all the different kind of cookies y'all were listing off. So I said, never mind. Let's see here. Maybe put a candy cane here. And then her ruffle won't have any candy canes. And then I just got to add some red stripes. Aw, thanks, Mary. Exactly, Susan. I've never been one to wanted to do any of that. Now, I will engage in a mixed drink about once or twice a year, and that's it. I don't like beer, and wine is okay, but and one or two mixed drinks a couple times a year is not going to kill you. Scott's father was an alcoholic, so Scott's he bought some beer the other day, but it's been a long time since he's bought beer. He said he woke up one day and he said, I don't want to be like my daddy. And he just quit drinking it. And we can't get his brothers to understand he just doesn't drink. And every Christmas, one brother buys him beer. And it's like, Scott doesn't really drink anymore. I hope this is what you were talking about, Mary, putting the candy canes on. What would have been neat is if I had drawn her holding a cookie sheet with cookies on it. Yeah. Well, Scott likes what is the name of that? There's a bourbon he likes, but he doesn't want to drink all the time. It's not Evan Williams. It's not Jack Daniels. It's and it used to be really inexpensive, but now it's gotten to be more expensive because people have gotten to where they like it. And so the distillery can't keep up. So they raised the price. If he was here, I would ask him. And, but yeah, he's gotten to where it hurts too much the next day to get drunk anyway. So it's like Greg has even gotten to where he's got a bunch of alcohol here, but I don't think he drinks it very often because it's the same bottles that have been here. And you guys got to remember, my son is 33 years old. If he wants to have a drink, he can have a drink. But I've warned him to remember about his granddaddy because he doesn't want to end up like granddaddy either. He said he doesn't want to waste his life that way. So I hope he continues that. All right. Is that enough candy canes and holly on her? Does she need anything else? I need to go in with the Sharpie and do some. You like alcohol? Tastes like a milkshake? Oh, and you know what, Susan? I can't stand that thick stuff. Bailey's, I can't stand it. And my sister loves it. One year she made me a little jug and it had Bailey's Irish cream in it. And I just couldn't do it. Now, I do not have a white gel pen with me, but when I get back up to the house, what I will do is I will add a little highlight on her eye, on her pupil, to give her a little sparkle in her eye. She's got to have a little sparkle. Give her some eyebrows. I just want to add some of these curls back in here. didn't mean for her bun to start looking like a cinnamon roll, but that's okay. She is a baker, right? Her bun can look like a cinnamon roll. That's funny. I made her have a chunky chin because we said she was chubby, right? Maybe some little wisps of hair coming down on her face. She's been working so hard. If I don't give her some dark lines when I go to make copies, you won't be, she'll just kind of look like a blob without some identifying lines. At least that's how I think. And I know, Mary, you go in and add lines. I just think they need it to bring out the character even more. I'm buffering. Oh, I didn't see any buffering on my end, and I've got myself hardwired with an Ethernet cable, so maybe Susan's buffering. But see, when you bring your lines back, I just think it gives them definition. Don't you, Mary? I think it just identifies the edges of everything. And you don't have to make them solid lines, even sketchy lines, with some little dotty spaces on them. She fills out her apron, man. She likes to snack on her cookies, I think. She's a good baker. She tastes it as she goes. I think she's almost done. She's got her eyes are going in two different directions. I don't know what happened there, but this eye's looking off that way. This eye's looking down. Maybe I can make her pupil a little bigger on this one. Oh, that looks horrible. She's got an eye condition, and we're just going to leave it at that. She can't help it. It's just how she was born. All right, guys, there she is. Yep, she's got her music notes here. We need to color those in, I guess. There we go. She's humming. But see, her eyes, I got to do something with her eyes. She's got some problems, man. Let's bring the blue around. Wish I could fix that eye so she's looking back this way. There we go. That's a little better. It's not 100%, but it's better than it was. And when I add the little highlight with some white, that'll help even more. Okay, guys, she's all colored in. Joy, Melody, Star, Claus here. Yeah, I'm going to put a twinkle in her eye when I get back up to the house because I don't have a white gel pen here, and I don't think this white is going to show. No, I'm going to wait and put a little white when I get up there. So, oh, she's squinting because of the heat from the oven. There we go. So, Holly, you'll get a copy in the mail. And if anybody has a copy, just leave a comment below and I'll run copies off at the house, little house. So I'm going to let you guys go and I'm going to go start emptying the bathroom closet and get going on that. And I need to vacuum the den up where the cats have been playing. Thanks, Mary. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Perhaps if Tanya's able to go live, I will join in, probably in and out. So y'all take care. Bye-bye. Oh, I forget this mouse has got, you got to hit a button to make it work. There we go. All right. Bye, guys.